The story begins in the present. Missel slowly wakes up, her head heavy, her body weak. She's tied up with ropes to a wooden cart, being dragged through the countryside. Standing nearby is Leo Bonhart, calm, cruel, and completely in control. He greets her in a mocking tone. He calls her Shirat and Zed and tells her she should be grateful to still be alive. Then he casually drops a bomb. Last week, he killed her friends, the rats. He says their heads are safely stored in a barrel on the cart like trophies. Among them is the head of her closest friend, Fringilla. Missel is trying not to break, but inside she's shaking. Bonhart keeps talking, almost like he's enjoying the sound of his own voice. He explains that he used to think the rats were protected by a big army, but in the end, all it took was one man, him. We cut to 6 months earlier. We jump to a loud, smoky gambling hall, a rough casino full of drinkers, gamblers, and shouting. In a nearby fight pit, an announcer hypes up the crowd. 2 fighters are about to face off, a Doppler, a shapeshifter, and a Witcher. The announcer screams about the most vile mutant on the continent. The audience cheers and places their bets. But something feels off. Up in the stands, Kaylee, Reef, Ace, Giz, Asa, and Missel are watching closely. They're not here for entertainment, they're running a scam. The Witcher in the ring is a washed-up, drunk real Witcher named Brigden, who they call Grumps. He looks rough, more like a man who lost everything than a legendary monster hunter. Down in the arena, the fight begins and quickly falls apart. The Doppler isn't real. The Witcher isn't really trying. It's all a stage show designed to get the crowd betting wrong. The rats use the chaos to steal from the audience and the casino. But when they sneak back into a private room and Brigden peels off his Doppler disguise, it becomes obvious this whole setup is more unprofessional than genius. The scam gets exposed, the crowd turns, and things escalate into a panicked escape. The rats grab whatever they can, not gold, but random loot, like a ceremonial axe from some long-forgotten ruler. They complain about how little profit they got for such big risk. This is becoming a pattern. Each job is more dangerous and less rewarding. Meanwhile, Missel keeps zoning out. She hears music nobody else hears. She talks about ghosts she keeps seeing. Reef warns her this kind of distraction is going to get them all killed. They decide they need something bigger, one big score that can set them up for a while. They head to a woman named Orla, a fortune teller who used to look after street kids. Kaylee and Reef used to work for her before joining the rats. Orla is sarcastic and sharp. She claims the spirits told her they were coming, but everyone knows she's more hustler than mystic. Missel tells her straight. They want a serious job. A big payout. No more junk, no more trinkets. They'll even pay Orla for good intel. Orla gives them a few small leads, an inheritance here, a shady bar witch there, but nothing big enough. Then she hesitates. There is one job. It's huge, but it's also dangerous. She asks if they've heard of Dom Hovanego. Of course they have. He runs the biggest underground fight ring on this side of the Aruga. The man is a legend in the criminal world. Orla says there's a rumor he's opening a brand new arena near Amarillo. It will be packed with warlords, arms dealers, rich perverts, the kind of people who swim in money and blood. But that's not the worst part. The arena will be run by a man named Brigden, a sadistic mercenary who once helped Nilfgaard crush rebellions. He led massacres, enslaved women, and controlled border brothels like they were his personal playground. The moment Orla says his name, Missel freezes. The others immediately realize something. Missel knows Brigden, and she's hiding something big. They press her, and finally, Missel starts telling them who she was before she joined the rats. 2 years earlier, she wasn't a thief. She was a noblewoman, the bride-to-be of Lord Genzir of Ebbing, a rebel lord fighting against Nilfgaard. She was supposed to stand beside him when they won. Her family was proud. Her future was planned. Her life looked perfect. She didn't love him. But she didn't care, because she was in love with someone else. Her name was Juniper. Juniper was a servant. Missel's best friend since childhood. Secretly, her lover. The two of them had their own private dreams, staying together, taking care of each other, no matter what. That fantasy collapsed in a single night. Nilfgaard learned about the rebellion. They sent Brigden. He and his mercenaries stormed the estate. They killed men, kept the women. Missel hid while her sister fought back, and was taken. Missel and Juniper tried to escape and go back for their families. Missel found her parents dead. She watched her world burn. Then Brigden found them. He recognized her as the bride. He didn't kill her. Instead, he sent both girls into the brothel system he controlled. A noble cunt is still a cunt, he said. Juniper fought every chance she got, always trying to protect Missile. Brigden enjoyed breaking her. One night, Missile watched helplessly as Brigden beat Juniper to death in front of her. Something inside Missile snapped. After that, she drifted through life like a ghost herself, trapped in a cellar, until she finally figured out how to pick the lock. She escaped half-dead and stumbled into Orla's care, where Ace later found her. That's how she ended up with the rats. Now that Brigden is back in her orbit, she wants one thing: revenge. Reef warns her, when a job gets personal, it becomes reckless. They all agreed to leave their pasts behind when they started this gang. But Missile reminds them, every one of them has ghosts. The bastards who forced them into the army, the people who abandoned them, the cowards who betrayed their own. Men like Brigden are everywhere, using war to get rich off suffering. And Dom Hovenego's grand opening? All those monsters in human skin will be there in one place. Missile looks at her crew and says, "How about just once we take something from them?" They agree, but with a condition. They'll hit Brigden's money, not his life. No personal revenge. No distractions. One clean heist and out. Missile nods. She says she understands. But we can see it in her eyes. This is about more than money. From what Orla told them, they have 3 big issues. Time: the big fight is in 2 weeks. Location: the arena is in a fortified old garrison by the Namarillo port. Invite only. Hard to sneak into. Brigden: Missile clearly knows him, and that makes everything more dangerous. They need a way in. They need a way to access the vault. And they need a way out. And they need help killing a monster. Because Brigden isn't just running an arena. He has a mage now. Together, they've created something new to show off on fight night, a creature called a Jalowik. Even Dom doesn't fully know what his cousin is planning. For that, they need a real monster killer. They need the drunk witcher from the casino. They find Brigden again, passed out, drunk, and running small cons. He's bitter, sarcastic, and doesn't want to work for rats. They offer him coin. A lot of coin. At first he refuses. Then Missile reads him, really reads him. She brings up his past, his failure, the Striga, the Witcher who died because of him, and how the world started hating him long before that. She hits a nerve. He finally agrees, for a big fee and the promise that once this is over, he never has to see them again. He's their best chance at killing Brigden's monster, and they all know it. The plan has layers. Ace will pretend to be a legitimate fighter, the baby face of Burn. Kaylee and Reef will act as his fight team, his 2 squires. Asa will be assigned where he's needed. Missile and Rayanne will pose as newlyweds seeking thrill and gain an invite through a rich contact. Brigden needs to get inside as well, with a silver sword, without raising suspicion. To make Ace look like a real professional fighter, they need official papers from a local prefecture. So one of the crew dresses up as an overly serious official from the Athletic Commission, forges documents, and clumsily hustles his way into getting them stamped after a bloody little incident in the archives. Meanwhile, Kaylee and Reef scout the old prison structure by water. They discover a likely escape route, a tunnel leading to a well-like drop, and a boat access. Wet, cold, and disgusting, but it connects the vault area to the outside. On the other side, Missile and Rayanne travel to a high-end brothel run by Miss Scrat, an old army acquaintance. Their target is the Baron, a rich investor tied to Hovenego's arenas. Missile plays the shy bride. Rayanne plays the charming husband. Together, they bait the Baron, appeal to his ego, flatter him, and secure what they need. An invitation that will get them into Brigden's arena on fight night with full access. The pieces are falling into place. Back near the arena, the rats scout the vault from below. They discover how the money moves. All bets go into boxes. Those boxes are lowered down through a shaft like a well, and the cash is collected in a hidden vault. While exploring the lower levels, Ace, Missile, and the others run into something horrific. A creature attacks them out of the dark, fast, vicious, almost human-shaped in the shadows. It slices Ace's leg open before they can escape. Missile is shaken. She recognizes something in the way it moved, the feeling it gave her. They rush back to the surface. She tells the others about Brigden's Jalowik and how it felt like more than just a monster. Brigden and Rayanne realize something. This isn't just a beast. It's a malediction, a twisted mix of alchemy and a curse. Brigden and his mage likely used a human as the base. The more they dig through their books and memories, the more terrifying it gets. If they want to kill the Jalowik, they can't just stab it. They have to weaken the curse first with a special extraction tonic. Only then will Brigden be able to kill it. Missile is quiet as they talk. When she thinks of a girl turned into a monster, her mind goes straight to Juniper. Time is running out. Brigden has only a few days to do 3 things at once. Help Rayanne figure out the extraction elixir. Get back into real fighting shape. Train Ace enough that he doesn't die instantly in the ring. We get a training sequence, Ace clumsily trying to box, slipping, tripping, struggling. Brigden pushes him hard. Reef yells corrections. Everyone is tense. At the same time, Missile and Brigden are up late, going through herbs, books, and old notes. Brigden is forced to remember things he buried in alcohol, how Witcher elixirs work, what enhances perception, what counters curses. Missile asks about his past. He tells her about the School of the Cat, where any emotional connection was treated like a weakness. About the rage that followed him. About a Witcher from the School of the Wolf, Remus, who showed him what brotherhood could look like, and how Brigden's greed got him killed trying to save the Striga, instead of just killing her. He says he doesn't remember all the details anymore. Missile quietly says that's what alcohol does. It burns holes in the parts of us that hurt the most. Then she asks him one more thing. After Juniper died, what helped him numb his pain? He looks around. He talks about the rats, the way they met at a llama's festival, orphans of war making a blood pact to stick together. He says you can never really numb it. All you can do is find people you're willing to go out in a blaze of glory with and light a match. That night, the group celebrates llamas. They laugh, drink, and try to forget that tomorrow they might die. They mark their bodies with small matching scars as a symbol of their bond. For a brief moment, they're just kids again. The night of the fight finally arrives. The arena is packed. Nobles, warlords, Nilfgaardian agents, rich sadists, all dressed in their finest, ready to watch people bleed. Missile, Rayanne, and the Baron walk through the front like they belong there. Ace, now the baby face of Byrne, goes in with Kaylee and Reef as his official team. Giz and Asa play their parts in the crowd and behind the scenes. Brigden is busy charming investors. He's cocky, confident, and completely unaware that some of the rats are his former victims. The announcer screams into the crowd. They have a special surprise tonight. A new type of fighter. A weapon that will change war itself. Somewhere in the stands, Emperor Im hears men watch with interest. A powerful new monster is something he could use. Missile and Brigden slip away. They enter Brigden's restricted backrooms and manage to smuggle Brigden's silver sword inside. From there, they head down into the depths of the arena to find the Jalowik. Up above, the fights continue. The crowd roars. Money flows. Down below, in the dark, Brigden and Missile find the monster. They manage to hit the creature with the extraction tonic. The curse weakens. The Jalowik stumbles, its skin shifting, its true form flickering beneath the beastly exterior. That's when Missile sees her. Juniper. In the trembling, tortured body of the monster, she recognizes the eyes. The voice inside her own head. The girl she loved. Missile breaks. She refuses to let Brigden kill her. She insists there has to be some way to save Juniper, to pull her out of this curse. Rayanne shouts that they don't have time, that they've only weakened the malediction. To remove it, the curse must be transferred to someone else. It's incredibly dangerous, and they're on a tight deadline. Up top, the schedule is moving faster than planned. The guards are on edge. Something is wrong. And then a new complication walks in. Leo Bonhart. He's in the arena tonight. And he's interested. Everything starts falling apart. Missile still begs. She will not abandon Juniper again. She asks Rayanne what to do. How to transfer the curse. How to save her. While the crew argues below, Brigden addresses the crowd, showing off his creation. He brags about the monster, the future of warfare, the tool that will allow the cleansing of the continent. He calls the creature forward for its grand debut. Missile tries the transfer ritual. It goes wrong. The curse flares. Chaos explodes. As the curse destabilizes, the arena erupts into violence. Bonhart reveals himself as more than just an observer. He's brutal, efficient, and terrifying. He mocks Missile as the bride, reminding her who she is and what he did. He calls Juniper his pretty little thing, and gloats that he never wasted such a beauty. He turned her into a weapon. Missile's worst nightmares are happening right in front of her again. Down below, the Jalowik goes wild. Brigden has to make a choice. Kill the monster or everyone dies. Missile screams at him not to, but it's too late. He strikes. The monster, Juniper, finally goes down. Missile is shattered. Up in the arena, Ace is thrown into the fight ring earlier than expected. He's terrified, but there is no turning back. The rat's plan relies on the chaos of his fight as cover for the vault raid and escape. Despite everything, Ace holds his own. Through fear, punches, and blood, he survives. He wins his match, becoming the reigning champion, almost by accident. Meanwhile, Kaylee and Reef hit the vault. They grab as many money baskets as they can and haul them toward the boats along the water exit. In the middle of it all, Brigden and Bonhart confront Brigden and the rats. Bonhart mocks Brigden's medallion, noting it's from the School of the Cat, one he doesn't have in his collection yet. Fights break out. People die. Doors are slammed. Gates are broken. It's a storm of panic and rage. Missile watches Juniper die in her arms. Juniper tells her it doesn't hurt anymore, that she'll take care of her this time. And then she's gone. Missile is left with nothing but grief and fury. Brigden, barely standing, pushes her to move. They got something out of this. They're still alive. They have money. The others need her. The rats drag themselves out with the baskets onto the boat as the arena burns behind them. Brigden lives. Bonhart lives. But the rats get away. On the boat, the crew stares at the piles of coin they stole. There's more money than they ever dreamed of. Enough to last a long time if they're careful. Enough to live like more than just rats, for once. But nobody is celebrating. They sit quietly, crying, shaking, processing. They lost people. They lost a piece of their innocence. Missile lost Juniper, again. Someone finally speaks. They raise a toast. To Bren, the worst witcher they ever met, who still helped them survive. To being alive, because if you're alive, you're already winning. To Juniper, and to the possibility of a future beyond all this pain. They know the city will be on fire for a while. Brigden and his allies will be out for blood. So they decide not to wait around to be hunted. They talk about heading to Gliswin next, where another gang, the Nasiers, are making moves that they might be able to exploit. Always another job. Always another hustle. Before they leave, Missile makes one final decision. She says she's done being haunted. Done clutching the ghosts of her past so tightly that they shape every move she makes. She has her family now, the rats. And for the first time, she chooses to let go of Juniper's ghost, at least a little. We return to the present. Missile is back on that cart, tied and bruised, listening to Leo Bonhart finish his story. He tells Velka, Ciri under her new identity with the rats, that this is how the rats survive their blaze of glory. Long enough to one day cross paths with her. And then, with chilling certainty, he adds, "But as you now know, Velka, in the end, I always win." The recap ends on that cold promise, and the feeling that the real nightmare for Ciri is only just beginning.